Good morning. I'm out here in nature once again, contemplating my existence, on the existence of mankind. And lately, I've been trying to understand the reason for our existence. Man would have us to think that we're born and then we die and we go to heaven or hell. And it literally stops us from living the life we were destined and created to live in this realm. And as I've been thinking lately, I'm like, okay, we were created for this realm. Adam was created from the elements of this realm, the dust of the ground. Everything in him is from this dimension. And I like to look at it this way. Everything at the creation of Adam, everything that he needed to thrive and to survive in this realm was already here. That is why we are made from the very elements of this realm, not another realm, but this realm. We're made up of melanin, carbon, silver, gold, dirt, clay, plant, water, fire, air. And if we weren't, think about it, we wouldn't be able to exist or survive in this realm. It wouldn't be conducive for us to exist here. So as I contemplate the idea that we're supposed to, we've been taught in this matrix to just live a mediocre life and then die. When in fact we were created to live eternal. We were created to live forever. Let me explain to you how and why. When the source, the Father, Yahuwah, God, the all eternal one, the all existing one, whatever you call him, when he gave this realm life, or brought forth life in this existence, man, birds, trees, plants, everything, the aquatic kingdom, everything is a kingdom within itself, and yet everything is connected together. Everything has a living soul. Everything has a spirit. The same spirit of the source is in this creation, in this realm, in this existence. So we're closer to a tree than we think. We're closer to an animal than we actually think. So when we were created to live and function in this realm, we were given the laws of nature, the laws of this realm, and you need a vehicle or flesh, a body to be able to operate in this realm. That is why spirits, ghosts, angels, demons, whatever you want to call them, cannot operate in this realm without flesh, without a vessel. That's why they try to oppress us and depress us, because they can only operate in flesh. I believe that's one reason why now mankind is coming up with clones, and other vehicles, other bodies, other, entities that they're able to put their spirit into, or put a spirit into, to be able to function in this realm. So as I've been contemplating the existence, our existence lately, and we're told to just basically live and die. I got a revelation that everything that we need to exist and to live forever was created before us, created within us. The scriptures say, the books say, the source says that the herbs were planted and created for the healing of the nations. The fruits, the vegetables, the plants, the trees are here for our food. They are our meat, not animals. We were never created to kill anything. Man has taught us clean meat, unclean meat. We were never created to kill anything. Everything was supposed to be created to live forever. Everything was created good, perfect, eternal, balanced, a continual flow, continual. Everything was created to continue forever. And as I was been sitting here this morning, and I've been even looking at the water, and we're taught to kill. Killing is not in our DNA. It's not in our mechanism. We were created perfect, like our source, who is all love, all power, everything that is good, everything that is righteous. We weren't created to kill. We are programmed to kill while living in this simulation or this computer program, in this matrix. We were created. There's been a download into our system to kill. We weren't created to kill. And as I'm sitting here and I'm watching the water in its pureness, it's flowing peaceful. Everything was created to be peace, to be on a frequency of peace, love, joy, patience, goodness, kindness, gentleness, self-control. And I've even come to realize, even in this moment, in this second, that the water was not put here to kill or to destroy. With all of the tropical storms, the water was placed here in this realm for our healing, for our purification, for our cleansing. And because everything is alive, the water too has a spirit. The water must be like, when it's aroused by harp or by man to destroy. I'm in tune with the water, and the water says, I wasn't created to kill. I was created to give life, to be life, and to bring life. And so as I've been contemplating our existence, I've come to realize that we were created for another dimension. We were created for this dimension to operate in full power with superhuman powers, just like beings in other dimensions. Yes, we were created for this realm. Adam was created to have dominion in this realm, to rule over everything in this dimension in his perfect state. We were created with superpowers to live forever, to operate and to dominate this realm. That's powerful. Wrap your mind around that. Everything that we need to live forever is in this realm. It's already here and it's within us. That is why we are created to heal ourselves. And if we put the right herbs and the right meat into our bodies, our organs, our body systems were created ever so often so many days to regenerate, to purify itself, and to be made whole. The liver, the kidneys, everything was created to rejuvenate, to come to always be in its completed state, in its perfected state. But because we put into our bodies GMOs, death, flesh meat, we become death, and we continue the cycle of death. And everything is a spirit. Everything is energy. Everything is life. Nothing is or was created to die forever or at all. That is why, because of sin, death can actually be looked as a blessing and not only a curse. Let me explain why. Stay with me. Imagine sin and imagine being sin, because that's what we are. We are now. We have become sin and death. So imagine becoming sin and death and not being able to regenerate, not being able to get out of the state or the bondage of death. Because the true bondage, the true slavery is death. Not anything physical per se. Physical just goes with eternal. Physical, spirit, it all works together. But the true bondage, the true slavery is death. So imagine us being sin, being death, and not being able to escape this, to be eternal, forever, death and sin. So death in the physical is really only a way for our spirit to be able to regenerate again and to live eternally. The spirit is alive. The flesh is dead. The flesh is just a suit. It's only like a car. It's not living. What animates this flesh and gives us life is the spirit. That's why when the spirit leaves the body at death, the body is non-existent. It's just a shell. Anything can come into it, actually, enter into it, and thrive again, or begin to animate itself or move again. Man, that's deep. That's interesting, and yet so simple. So when I began to understand that if we would in fact live the vegan lifestyle, begin to cleanse our bodies, begin to cleanse our minds, body, spirit, soul, it all goes together. That is why the scriptures say that I wish above all things, I believe Paul said it, that you prosper even as your soul prospers, and the source, the great and the powerful one, I am that I am, the all-knowing one, the one who perceives and conceives all things at all times, said that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom, only the spirit. And the spirit lives within this temple. The temple is just a building. It's just a vehicle. The spirit is what is living. And I'm reminded of the movie Host. If anyone has ever seen the movie Host, if you haven't, see it. It's a sci-fi movie, and man has named it science fiction or sci-fi to keep us in the matrix, to keep us in a loop, to keep us asleep. But it's really not fiction. It's really science. It's really truth. They're giving you bits of truth mixed with error. But the movie The Host is about a soul or spirit that came to this realm, souls and spirits that come to this realm and take over a human body. They're really just telling you story or our existence of how we came here. We're actually spirit from a spirit realm or a spirit world that is placed into this vehicle to be able to operate in this atmosphere, in this realm, because the spirit alone couldn't operate in this realm because there's laws of nature, just like the movie Avatar. When the humans went into the other dimension or the other world, they had to put on the vehicle or the suit or the body of the beings of that realm or that existence or that dimension, because they wouldn't be able to operate in their human form. They couldn't operate. They would cease to exist. They would not be able to breathe the oxygen or the hydrogen or the air of that realm or that dimension. Same thing with Earth. If we did not have these fleshly bodies, we would not be able to operate in this realm, plain and simple. And Adam, in his perfected state, didn't have this flesh. He didn't look like this. The risen Christ or Messiah didn't look like this either. He didn't have this body. He had a regenerated or eternal body. And I'm not sure if the regenerated body is the body that Adam had when in his perfected state, or is the regenerated body just the merging of the spirit and the flesh body in its perfected state? Is the regenerated body what we get because we were once flesh? That's interesting. I'm gonna have to meditate and ponder on that so that the source can give me that information. And the Gospel of Peace, the Essene Gospels, if anybody has read the other books, I encourage you to read the other books, because the story doesn't stop with the Bible. The Bible's man-made. But the other books state, Yeshaya asked the people, why do you pore over the dead scriptures? Why do you, the scriptures are written by man. They're dead. They're pen and paper. Everything you need to thrive and survive is written on your DNA. It's written on the inside of you. It's written in my creation. That's why lately, I've been pondering on, because the scriptures say, Yeshaya said to contemplate or to discern the lilies, to discern the ants. Look to nature in this realm, not another realm. Look to nature in this realm, and that's where you'll find the spirit. That's where you'll find the source. That's where you'll find consciousness. That's where you'll find eternal. That's where you'll find the rebirth experience. That's where you'll find regeneration and ascension. Everything must regenerate. Everything. Nothing that was given life can die, because the source is all eternal. He's ongoing and he's forever. He's continual. So the spirit, our spirit self, can never die. It can never die. It must give back to the source. It must give itself back. It must unify again with its source, with its creator, with creation. It's all energy. It has to go back to the source. So when they tell you that you'll be burned in hell forever, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, because the source can't be burned. It has to regenerate. It has to be continual. It has to go on forever. This might be too much for a lot of people to understand or to accept. But this is reality, not what they've been feeding us. What they've been feeding us is error and lies to stay connected to this flesh so they can have dominion, so they can rule over us and dominate us and hold us in bondage to this death existence. When we were created to live, we were created to be forever, we were created to be eternal. Listen to the sounds of nature and let it purify you, let it restore you, let it bring balance to you, unity, peace. It's calming. We shouldn't have to live a stressful life. Yeshaya said, why do you carry burdens that I didn't give you? I didn't give you to carry. Lay them down. Take on my yoke for its light. Take on creation. Take on nature. Let the water purify you. Let the water cleanse you. Let the fire burn up everything in you that's not like righteousness. Let the sounds of nature minister to you. Let it sing you a song that returns you to me. That's what the source is saying. The source is inviting us to be one with him or with it. To be one with the eternal, with the Godhead, the Elohim, the oneness, the Akkad, which is the Hebrew word. Meditate. I beg you to meditate, because meditation brings you in oneness with yourself, in oneness with your creator, with your creation, with source, with nature, with energy, with who you are. Meditate, ponder. The scriptures even said ponder, day and night. Ponder, meditate, become spirit, so that you can be in control of what your flesh does. You can control your anger. You can control your emotions. You can be balanced. You can be whole. You can be cleansed. The poison can begin to leave your body. Ponder. Take time to sit in total silence and be aware of your existence. Be aware of your spirit. Be aware of the I am that's on the inside of you. Man has taught us to be preoccupied and caught up with everything else that's going on around us. Distractions from everywhere. The source is instructing you to meditate, to take time to let the wind blow against you. The wind heals you. The wind speaks to you. The air purifies you. The wind is spirit. It ministers to you. It tells you of ancient places. It reminds you of the days of old and your other lifetimes. Take time to take your shoes off and walk in the grass. To touch the sand, to touch the soil, to touch the rocks with your hands. It connects you to nature. It makes you one with the elements of this realm and brings you power. It purifies you. It makes you alive. It's what makes you alive. Earth makes you one with creation, one with nature, and one with the source. It reminds you of what you were used to be created with. It makes you respect everything. Meditation, getting in touch with yourself, getting in touch with the earth, getting in touch with the other kingdoms, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, the aquatic kingdom. It balances you. It makes you love everything. It makes you want to be one with everything. It makes you not want to kill anything. It makes you say, maybe I won't eat an animal because I wouldn't want anyone to eat me or eat my children. I won't kill a bird because I wouldn't want anyone to kill my children or kill me. It makes you say, I don't want to kill my fellow brother or sister because I wouldn't want anyone to kill me or kill my family, friends, children, grandchildren. And people say this sounds crazy. It's not normal. But what is not normal about creation, about peace, with being in tune and one with everything? What's not normal with who and what you were created to be in this realm? Stop trying to die and start trying to live. Don't commit suicide. Become all powerful in this existence. Tap into who you are, the eternal you, the creative you. Become that so you can purify yourselves and purify the people around you. What are your gifts? What are your talents? Because they were placed on the inside of you to make money, to be able to survive, to work for yourself, to work for mankind, to work for nature. Punch the eternal clock and not the man-made clock. Meditate long enough to find out what your gifts are, what your talents are, what your hopes are, what drives you, what makes you you. Because that is the only way you'll live your best you. Consider the lilies. Consider the lilies. Google the attributes of lily and the spiritual meaning, the spiritual concept of the lily. Discern the ant. There's a reason why Yeshaya said these things. It's a reason why. Google the different attributes of these different animals and these different plants. What energies do certain plants give off? Consider everything, really. Consider everything around you. Consider it. Consider it. Because when you consider everything around you, when you begin to consider yourself, everything makes sense. Life is easier to live. Respect yourself. Respect everything around you. Respect the source. What can go wrong? Nothing. Perfection. Perfection. That's the eternal state. The frequency of love. The frequency of peace. And I suggest that you learn how to feel every emotion. but to act and not react. Feel everything. Consciously feel everything. If something makes you sad, feel it in that second, in that moment. Figure out why. Understand why you're feeling this way. And then choose to reject it. And begin to choose to feel peace, love, joy, patience, goodness, kindness, gentleness, and self-control in that moment. And you won't be able to do anything hateful. If you're feeling angry, embrace it in that second. Consciously understand why you're angry. And most times you'll realize that you don't even have a reason to be angry. And then disregard it. And accept. Purposely accept the emotion of peace, joy, love, patience, goodness, kindness, gentleness, and self-control. And you will begin to act and not react. So too with love, everything is balanced. If you're feeling excitement or desire, everything must have balance though. If you're feeling a desire or an excitement that is wrong, embrace it long enough to understand why. And then reject it and accept a balance of perfected love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Be at peace. Be at peace. Yeshua said, I give you the peace that surpasses all understanding. And if you do this, you'll know why you feel a peace that surpasses all understanding. A peace that you're not supposed to have. Because everything around you is chaotic, unbalanced, and out of order. But because you have become in tune with the order that's inside of you. If order is inside of you, if peace is inside of you, if balance is inside of you, then you can only give off that energy. I had a great teacher, my godmother, that I miss very dearly. She was very wise, very wise. She very rarely spoke anything that was unwise out of her mouth. And I remember when I would go to her and talk to her, sometimes I would ask her, why do people treat you the way that they do? And she would always say, daughter, you can't hold them accountable for the only thing that they have inside them. It's the only thing that they can give off. If they don't have love, they can't give you love. If they're not understanding, they can't understand you. If they're not a peaceful person, if they don't exuberate peace, they can't give you peace. They can only give you what's inside of them. So if they're anxious, they can only give you anxiety. If they're stressful, they can only give you stress. If they hate, they can only give you hate. If they lust, they can only give you lust. They can only give you what they exuberate on the inside. So if be somebody's peace and not their headache. Be someone's restoration and not their pain. Be someone's self-control and not their confusion. Be someone's love and not their hate. Be what you would want someone to be for you. This is what would make the world go round. A person can only give you what they have on the inside of them. It will be against the laws of nature for them to do anything else. Don't hold them accountable. They can only give to you what's on the inside of them. That's the laws of nature for this realm. That's normal. It can't be any other way. If it is, it's a lie. And the source is all truth. This energy, the energy of the source, can only give you truth. It can't give you anything else. It can't give you a lie. It can only give you balance. It can only give you the attributes of the spirit, which is love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. It can't give you anything else because it doesn't know anything else. So if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling stressful, if you're feeling hate, rage, contentment, contentiousness, if you're feeling inadequate, then the source of all sources isn't giving you that, because it can't give you that, because it's not that. Those aren't its attributes. It's coming from another source. It's coming from the opposite of righteousness. It's coming from the opposite of life. And it's giving you negativity. It's giving you everything that's unbalanced and chaotic, because that's all that it can give. This is good stuff, people. This is deep. Wow. Wow. I'm speechless as I sit and I meditate with my source, with my creators. They'll give you wisdom, because that's all they can give you. I wouldn't know this if I didn't sit and meditate. If I didn't take time to meditate, I wouldn't know this. I wouldn't be given the eternal wisdom, or the ancient wisdom. This is ancient knowledge. And I'm learning about the Akashic records. Everything that existed, ever will, is written in the cosmos, the book of life, the Akashic records. Look this stuff up, people. Look it up. This is reality, not what they're feeding us in the Matrix. Be connected. All of us are connected to the Akashic records. Every one of us is connected to the book of life. Every one of us is connected to the source. Every one of us is connected to wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. But you have to tap into it. You have to ask for it. You have to be one with it. This is my new truth. So I'll leave you with this for now, and I just encourage everyone to meditate, to get in tune with the oneness, get in tune with the I am that's on the inside of you, not on the inside of sister so-and-so, brother so-and-so, cousin Willie, Billy, Bob, and Joe. Get in tune with the I am on the inside of you. That's how you'll thrive in this realm. Know your likes, know your dislikes, know what makes you tick, because that's the only entity that you can control in this realm. You can't control anyone else. If you could control you, if we could get down that, everything else would flow, because it would have no choice. Everything around you would have to come in line with your energy, or it would have to cease. It would have to go. What does light have to do with darkness? What does evil have to do with good? What does righteousness have to do with wickedness? What does death have to do with life? Again, you attract what you are. That's the laws of this realm, people. That's the laws of nature, karma. All of this stuff that they tell you is witchcraft is common sense. It's common sense. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's how we make the world go round. Not take, not steal, not do me, forget you, and all the rest of the stuff they say. No, that's why we can't thrive. That's why we can't have anything as a people. That's why we can't have anything. Because it's all about big eyes and little U's. When it should be about big us. All of us. All eternal. There's strength in numbers. That means something. Let's come together, people. Let's come together. One mind, one heart, one desire, one plan, one goal. Let's be eternal.